Which current second-year wide receiver can outperform their current ADP? And I think CeeDee Lamb is one of the guys you're looking at as a big opportunity to do that.
Right here.
Johnny, I want to give you the mic here for CeeDee Lamb, the next guy on our list. One of another guy that came out of last year's draft class that was just uber talented and then started to flash some things down the stretch, even in an offense that was missing Dak Prescott. But now we're talking about this offense. We were talking off air. Jerry Jones may be interested in Kyle Pitts. This offense continues to be one that just wants to throw the football a ton. You got to be excited about CeeDee Lamb coming into this year.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's almost as if, because we're like, you and I were talking about like, hey, they need to go out and get some defense, like that defense is non-existent right now, right? But if you look at what Dak was doing, he was beating offenses or beating defenses by himself with their offense. And so maybe their whole thing is like, well, we need a lot of defensive players and we can't necessarily address all of those. But we can get one player on offense, and we already know what our offense looked like before. And then you're going to get and put in a like he says, tantalizing talent in Kyle Pitts. Definitely would be exciting, and I would probably adjust CeeDee Lamb in my rankings just a little bit if that did happen, because you got to figure he would be heavily involved in this offense. But before we get there, let's just take a look at what CeeDee Lamb is or what he did last year and whether or not where you should be getting him, right? So he finished as the wide receiver 20 in standard league and wide receiver 22 in PPR leagues. He only saw 11 red zone targets, 13.4%, which is pretty low. He converted 6 of those for touchdowns, so that's pretty significant. Despite having an instability at the quarterback position, because we know Dak, of course, got injured, and then there was like the carousel before they got, they went to Dalton, then he got injured, blah, blah. You know the story. He still ended up having 877 receiving yards from the slot, which is the most by any rookie since 2006. We are excited about those targets. Why? Because slot when he plays in the slot, he's an alpha wide receiver, and now you're putting him in the slot. That creates a lot of mismatches, and they take advantage of that, right? You saw it early in with Dak. 39 targets last year in the first 5 games, 29 receptions for 433 yards with Dak on the field. He was the wide receiver 11, and then he went down and then he slipped, but he still ended up finishing, like we said, as the wide receiver 20 to 22, depending on what type of league you're in. Travis, he's coming off the board around the wide receiver 20 to 27, which screams value to me. So to me, CeeDee Lamb is the number one target that I like as far as these second-year wide receivers, just because the cost is so low right now. And
Darius here asking which current second-year wide receiver can outperform their current ADP, and I think CeeDee Lamb is one of the guys you're looking at as a big opportunity to do that, just because we've seen Amari Cooper be inconsistent in the past. Not saying he was last year. I thought he had one of his best years last year, to be honest. With
He did, statistically.
But I think that there is a case where CeeDee Lamb's talent just is so good that we're going to see it outshine. And this offense could continue to be one that feeds a lot of wide receivers. But I'd rather take the upside of CeeDee Lamb in the 5th round than take Amari Cooper around earlier. And I could go for the upside of a guy who can finish within the top 12. And I just don't know if Amari Cooper is going to get there again this year. So we'll see on that.
I mean, and that's the thing is like CeeDee Lamb isn't even like in the high end. Yeah, he would probably go in the 5th round, but in a lot of our mocks, Travis, he's been going in the 7th. And
I was just looking at a mock we did for PPR. He was in the 5th round there, early 5th round in a mock there. But I mean, we'll see how that fluctuates for sure.
Right here.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you want to watch more fantasy football content, check out one of these videos.